India's gig and platform workers are hitting the streets, but not to deliver orders. The Indian Federation of App-Based Transport Workers, or IFAT, which represents millions of delivery and platform workers, launched a flash strike on Thursday. The day saw nearly 40,000 workers across major metros halt deliveries for a few hours, when an even bigger strike planned on New Year's Eve. The union says that the move is meant to draw attention to falling wages, arbitrary ID blocking, and unsafe delivery targets. But it's important to understand who exactly are gig workers. Unlike traditional employees, these are individuals earning income through digital platforms without the protection of formal employment. From food delivery and ride-hailing to home services and e-commerce tasks, these workers form a semi-structured labour force. They log hours, receive formal digital payments, and have visible work profiles, yet they do not enjoy the benefits like minimum wages, health insurance or job security. Even before the strike announcement, concerns over India's gig economy were in the spotlight. A post by Member of Parliament Raghav Chadha highlighted a Blinkit delivery agent who earned 762 rupees after completing 28 deliveries over nearly 15 hours. Now, this comes as the industry grows at a rapid pace from 7.7 million platform workers in 2021. The workforce is estimated at around 12 million today, with projections showing that it could reach 23.5 million by 2030. This is nearly 7% of the non-agricultural workforce. Meanwhile, reports suggest that the sector could eventually generate up to 90 million jobs, spanning both low-skill delivery roles and high-skill freelance services. Yet, growth has brought growing pains. Workers and lawmakers highlight low pay for long hours. A recent study by the National Law School of India University found that algorithms now determine pay, job assignments, incentives, and even penalties. The strike comes shortly after the government implemented new labour reform under the updated Code on Social Security, which came into force in November 2025. And under the updated code, platforms must contribute 1 to 2% of annual turnover to a social security fund, capped at 5% of payments to workers. The fund aims to provide health insurance, accident cover and maternity benefits, and includes measures to create Aadhaar-linked portable accounts for workers across platforms. Yet, unions argue that these reforms are only a first step, leaving core issues unresolved. The gig workforce is also facing a technological shift. Drone deliveries and AI-powered automation are already being piloted in cities like Gurugram and Bengaluru, threatening low-skill delivery and dark store jobs. Experts warn that without upskilling and legal safeguards, many workers risk displacement even as the industry continues to expand. And for more on this, we're now being joined by Jayant Krishna, who is a senior fellow at the Centre for Strategic and International Studies. Welcome to the broadcast, Mr. Krishna.
Pleasure.
First up, help us understand who exactly counts as a gig worker in India today, and how is this different from your traditional employees?
So I think, let's understand, Diksha, we are not talking about small numbers at all. There are about 1.2 crore people who are gig workers today, right? And they are essentially, e-commerce aggregators, food delivery chain, home services and mobility platforms. The likes of Swiggy's and Zomato's and Flipkart, Amazon, even Ola and Uber, although they were not on strike, but they also constitute the gig economy workers, So technically, they are not on the payrolls of these, gig companies, in the sense that, they are not technically employees. Legally, they are not employees. So they are more of a channel partner, who earn based on the work that they do, they deliver, right? So if they are not legally employed, legally they are not employees, there have been issues of, them not getting social security like PF, like gratuity, pensions, insurance, and so on and so forth. So generally, these benefits are not available to the gig economy workers, and that's where the trouble started,
Right, Mr. Krishna, and while that does highlight a certain kind of vulnerability, which is pertinent for this kind of work, now with automation, AI and drone deliveries entering India, how vulnerable do you think are the low-skilled gig jobs to being replaced?
So Diksha, all these gig platforms are based on technology. They're based on automation. They're based on deployment of artificial intelligence. So I don't see that as a major trouble at all, because when you deliver the last mile, you still need human beings. Technology cannot deliver. Technology can enable the delivery, right? But at your doorstep, the people who will go would remain human beings. So I don't think that's a, let's understand, without technology, these platforms wouldn't have come into being at all. So I don't see that as a major challenge. And, and these aggregators are very, very smart people. They will keep deploying the newer technology into their business models, and they'll keep delivering. So I don't see technology as a threat at all. It is an enabler, actually. And as I said, last moment delivery will always be done by people and not by technology.
Okay, so from what I understand, Mr. Krishna is looking at a hybrid system where technology is going to work in tandem with the human element. Now, having said that, what steps can platforms take to ensure sustainable growth of the gig economy without exploitation?
Yes, Diksha. So I think today the gig economy workers have lots of problems. They have long working hours, they have unsafe delivery targets. There's hardly any job security, no welfare measures. Employers, the platform owners, they arbitrarily block their IDs. Safety measures are not there, and the algorithm itself on which these platforms are based, they do discrimination in work allocation. And mandatory rest breaks are not there. Health insurance is generally not there. Accident coverage is generally not there. So I think these are the kind of things which are creating a lot of problem. So I think these companies can proactively, and some of them have started also, but more and more gig economy companies need to come forward to ensure fair wages, ensure safety for the last mile employees. Although technically they may not be employees, dignity of labor, social security. I think these are very, very important. And under the new labor code, which were adopted, the law which came into being 2020, but it is being implemented now, it is mandatory that 1 to 2% of the revenue that the gig economy companies face, they'll have to make provisions for health insurance, for accident insurance, for life insurance. And and the labor code talks about provident fund, even the health benefits in terms of ESIC, hospitals. So I think these things are becoming mandatory. And so there are two developments. As I said, the government of India has embraced the new labor code, the 4 code, where gig economy workers are also covered. And at least one state, Karnataka, has taken, they have created a lot of welfare measures around gig workers. They've created a welfare board. They have a transaction fee based kind of a system, and a very robust grievance redressal system for gig employees. So I think the more these gig companies will do themselves to safeguard their employees and ensure a decent living for them, I think government's regulation may not be required in that case. But I think companies have to come forward, and with the new labor codes being in place, I see there are a lot improving, but it has to happen sooner than later, Diksha.
Right, of course, we'll have to wait and see how the situation evolves. But for now, thank you so much, Mr. Krishna, for joining us on the broadcast and sharing your valuable perspective with us.
Pleasure.